each other. Well, always, always. Karen, is it coming through okay? There's a delay, so maybe not immediately. Can you hear it through the... So there's a delay. I know there's a delay. Sometimes it comes through and sometimes not. Hey, Grace. I'll keep speaking just as a sound check, but I'm not sure with the delay if we're checking the live stream. There's a new tech, so we're trying to figure it out and get it working. Oh, we're still streaming. Shabbat shalom. It's coming through. Okay, thank you, Karen. But hopefully not too much of a delay. Come on. Welcome in, everybody. Please mosey on into the sanctuary. We're going to get started in just a minute. I know. It's looking like 7 o'clock. Yeah, here we go. Oh, you're all good. Sorry. Welcome, welcome, everyone. If we could all mosey in and find our seats, I'm glad you all made it. It's wonderful to see everybody. Oh, okay, we can hold on for a sec. I hear ya. We can wait a couple seconds more. We've actually got some announcements, and it'll be a couple minutes before we really start, so it's all good.
Everybody has full tummy.
Yeah, well,
Very full.
That's a good thing. I'll try and keep things lively.
If they fall asleep, it's not your fault. It was a great dinner.
That's okay. I think we'll just do the announcements now, and we'll sort of ease into the service.
Okay.
That way, if people are a little bit later,
Okay.
take your time with arranging it.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, look at all my little friends from in town. Well, my name is Donna Berger, and on behalf of the Bethel Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you here tonight to our Shabbat. Start over?
There you go.
Okay. My name is Donna Berger, and on behalf of the Bethel Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you tonight to our Shabbat service. And if you're new to our congregation or attending as a visitor, please introduce yourself to Rabbi Dime. And our solo cantorist should be here momentarily.
She's actually not coming today.
She's not coming tonight.
That's okay.
They
So I'll be covering. I'll be
They
covering
didn't
the
scratch
music.
that off. So also, if you turn off your phones, which I just remembered to do. And here are some upcoming events. Come and enjoy beautiful Shabbat morning service tomorrow with Reva Wolchok as she leads us in a prayer and she becomes a bat mitzvah. And you don't want to miss Bethel Mystery Dinner Theater. That is going to be on the 13th at 5 p.m. There's also no religious school that day, if any of you were planning to do that. Our religious school program person over there is smiling. Save the date. Yes, that's the bat mitzvah tutor. Amazing, amazing lady. Save the date for Noah Osfeld's become a bar mitzvah on November 19th. And the office will be closed Wednesday, November 23rd through the 25th for the Thanksgiving holiday. And more details and more information to come soon. And please, we will be so thrilled to hear Reva tonight and welcome from the out-of-town guests. And we're glad to see you here, people that have not been here before, and our friends that are here again this evening. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Okay.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. There's a neat trick now with these mics that you can mute yourself while somebody else is talking. So if I forget tomorrow to unmute myself, just, give a shout and I'll turn it back on again. But tonight, like Donna said, we're going to have the pleasure of hearing Riva lead us in a prayer. And tomorrow, Riva is the star and will be carrying all of the service. It's going to be fantastic. And I've heard her rehearse, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to all of your smiles and very happy and pleased expressions tomorrow as Riva does a great job. Not to embarrass you. You're going to be great. So one of the things, speaking of seeing Riva do a great job, Riva is going to teach us more about this. But the theme of this week's Parsha, Vayera, is seeing. One of the many themes is seeing. And so I'd like to invite you to turn to page 643 at the top of the page, Esa Enai. And in one sec, I'll ask you to join with me. Yes, 643, 643. Esa enai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa enai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Join in if you know it. Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose shamayim va'aretz Ezri me'im Adonai. Ose shamayim va'aretz Esa enai el harim me'ayin yavo Ezri. Esa enai el harim me'ayin yavo Ezri. And now, to help us really ring in Shabbat, I invite everybody to turn to page 120, 120, and I'd like to invite up Stephen and Susan Wolchok, and if Riva, you'd like to come up as well to light us in the candles and the Kiddush. Lead us in lighting the candles and doing the Kiddush. Page 120, 120. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, don't go yet. We're going to do the Kiddush. Please. Amen. And now, please turn to page 124, 124. May the door of this synagogue, please join with me. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it be welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May its synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And now please turn to page 128, 128. And we will sing together Hine Matov. And as Donna said earlier, it really is lovely to see so many new faces, everyone together in this space for the first time, all of us in the same place at the same time. So Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Finding the note. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Hine matov, yadadai, yadadai. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. And now we turn to page 146, 146, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. We turn to page 148 for Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidavaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, v'mishmeroteim berakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Now together in the English at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We turn to page 150, 150. Please join me in the English at the bottom of the page. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema on page 152, 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shochvecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam amzuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tiskeru Vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Together on the top of page 159, 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We turn to Micha Mocha on page 158, our people's song of redemption, the song we sang at the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Nora tehilot osef eleh. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha bokeayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'ameru. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. And now we turn to page 160, 160, for the Hashkivenu. The Hashkivenu is a prayer that it seems like every week we need it more than we need the last one. And I'm just realizing that Riva asked to do the Vehavta, and that was my bad. So think about which one you'd like to do after this one if you want, and sort of give me a shout, and I would like to definitely invite you up. Anything? All right, that was my bad, walking all over Riva's guest spot for tonight, but I promise you, she will be doing a lot of amazing stuff tomorrow. You do get credit. You do get credit. But all right, we'll see how you're feeling when we get to Vishamru. We'll see how you're feeling when we get there. But for now, speaking of things that are stressful during the week, we come to Hashkivenu, and this is a time when we think about building that Sukkot Shlomecha, building a shelter of peace, and how we need God's help to do it. With all the stressful things that are going on, all the things that we just have to deal with during those days that we've gone through since the last Shabbat. And so we join together in the English on page 160 and read together the Hashkivenu. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, O God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, O God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We turn to page 162 for Vishamru. How are we feeling? Okay. No stress on Shabbat. We'll hear a lot of Riva tomorrow, so you're good. We turn to page 162 for Vishamru 162, and we'll start on D. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti Oti leolam v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. And now we turn to page 164, 164, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the tefillah portion of our service. 164. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'Ma'an Shmo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv Haruach U'Morid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'cho yom yehallelujah selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Please join me in the English at the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and to do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 177 at the bottom. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'cha na'eh lehodot. And now we turn to page 178, 178 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. And now we turn to the Misha Berach. We will think now of those who are in need of healing, whether it is healing of mind or of body or of spirit. And so the congregation tonight is thinking of these following people: Eric Rubenstein, Robin Zimmerman, Francis Marcus, Richmond Wynn, Jenny Ben Bassett, Holly Caristo, Jim DeArmond, Anita Perlman, Lionel Gleichenhaus, Rebecca Kaufman, Pearl Levin, Jay Goldblatt, Marsha Cohen, Danny Cohen, Ron Rappaport, Rose Iglico, Carol Friedman, Carol Wallace, David Cohen, Carol Solomon, Ben Fishman, Shelley Fishman, Natalie Conway, Marion Cohen Spitzner, Benedict Vigoro, Dale Ray, Michelle Jurgen Rosenthal, Margaret Gormley, June Van, Jean Schroeder, Marty Siegel, Rabbi Michael Matchison, John Mitchell, Deborah Rosen, Mary Blutenthal, David Michaels, Rayla Montagna, Dennis Montagna, Cody Allen, and Avery Silvers. If there is anyone who has another name they'd like to add to our congregation and those we are holding in our hearts for prayer, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all their names together as a community, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Misha Berach on page 371. That's 371. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, families, and community. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now please take a few moments for silent meditation. Ose shalom bimromal, Uya'ase shalom aleinu, ve'al ko Yisrael, ve'imru, imru amen. Ya'ase shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. So, you may have heard me go into the harmony there on Oseh Shalom, which I normally do because we normally have a cantorial soloist here. So forgive my couple lapses and needing to drink some water before we get to the sermon. So one sec. It may not improve the sermon, but I'll be able to say it better. So this has been, I'm sure, for many, if not all of us, quite a week. As I said before, this is the Parsha Vayera. We talk about seeing. And twice in this Parsha, both Abraham and Hagar, who are both going through arguably the worst things a person could ever go through, the imminent death of their child, look up and see the deliverance. They look up and see something that will save them from their predicament, from their plight, from losing their child. And so Vayera speaks of looking up and seeing this saving grace, this thing that you find that helps you to make a change, to find deliverance. And so that's why I sang S.I. we lift up our eyes to the mountain, because at times like these, when things are scary and we see them all around us all the time, it seems like, with anti-Semitism, and I just read in the news earlier this week that teens dying from fentanyl is at an all-time high. It's really, really scary stuff. Fentanyl is in everything, apparently, and people don't know about it. So it's very, very dire, very trying times. And so we lift up our eyes. We try and find things to help us. And, you know, there's also just stress of it being an election week. And that's all I'll say about it, just that a lot of people are very stressed out about a lot of different aspects of it. A friend of mine was telling me that her perspective on watching the news was that it was like mainlining stress hormones that everybody was getting. So whatever news you're watching, it got to be very stressful watching the news. So we take a deep breath, and we need it. And so this Shabbat, I am thinking about taking a step back, because the only way to really lift our eyes and get perspective is to have that broader viewpoint, that step back that we take before we lift our gaze. And we think about the fact that this is Veterans Day. We have Veterans Day this week. We also have the 84th anniversary of Kristallnacht this week. And those two different holidays, in very different ways, can remind us that even if it seems terrible now, and even if it won't be okay for us necessarily, people will be okay. There are veterans who aren't here now, but there are a lot of people that aren't. There are a lot of soldiers who died for us to be able to have the life that we lead. And Kristallnacht, 84 years ago, marked this crazy occasion. That's what we observe today, where anti-Semitism was on a rampage, and it heralded just what we know, the death of 6 million Jews, and also the enabling of a government that also saw to the murder of 7 million other people. And the night of broken glass, the death of soldiers, and thank God the survival of soldiers, the veterans that we have here today who also fought for things that help us have the life we lead, be in the world that we're in. Thinking about all those different events and all those people can help us gain the perspective we need to then step back and lift up our eyes and hopefully find what we need in these moments. And so this Shabbat, I wish for us rest and renewal, and so that we can take those steps back, renew our gaze, lift up our eyes, and then find what we need in the weeks and months and years ahead. Shabbat Shalom. We now turn to the concluding portion of our service. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Aleinu on page 586. 586. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula le'oser bereshit, shelo asenu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. There was somebody who sneezed during the Alenu, so bless you, a little bit belatedly. We turn in a moment to the Kaddish. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we have loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the stars that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. So the congregation tonight is remembering those whom we've lost in the last year. Shirley Wolf, Jane B. Hirsch, Dan Goldman, Judy Ellikin, Inga Langsam, Phyllis Zuckerman, Nancy Honig, Judy DeArmond, Gloria Bell, Dorothy Zemlich Fine, Gordon Overton, and Jay Aronoff, and those whose yard sites we're observing at this time. Jay Aronoff, Shirley Cohen, Norman Friedman, Sadie Golib, Sidney Hodder, Abraham Hyman, Aaron Kandel, Harriet Klein, Rosalind Mandel-Zola, Freda Rappaport, Norman Richmond, Grace Solomon, Rosalind Sands, Robert Schneider, and Barney Schomer. If there's anyone else who has a name to like to share with the community, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all of their memories together as a community, and I invite us to rise in body or spirit for saying the Kaddish together on page 598, 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Ulalmei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yidromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shmei D'Kudesha Richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Vimru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Vimru Amen. May the one who brings peace on high bring comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now as we wind down our service, I invite you to turn to page 680, 680, because we're here together in America, and I think we can all together bless America. So, God bless America, page 680. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. And now we turn to page 603, 603, for the priestly benediction. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, shalom, shalom. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May you feel God's presence with you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The Kiddush will be starting out there in just a moment.